Hello and welcome to another Patch Notes video. We are patching today, so once again, let's jump into it. We got some big changes this time around, the first of which is our start of run update. So we are really excited for this one. One thing we've been wanting to make more fun about the game is the early game. We wanted to create more variety in how it plays out, and so a lot of the changes you'll see this patch are us testing changes and systems to do that. So the start of run is going to play a little differently than it has been. So we've had a couple different versions of it throughout the beta so far. Originally we had a starting skill that we would give you and then a starting item afterwards. Eventually we got rid of the starting skill. We are going to give you kits moving forward. So at the start of a run, instead of just choosing an item specifically that you want, you're going to have two choices of kits. And a kit will be a little description of a loadout. It'll tell you there's like a skill, a silver item, two items. It just gives you a rough summary of what you're going to get in the kit. And then the items, after you commit to that kit, the items inside of that are going to roll randomly. So it should create a lot more variety in what you start with, and different starts are going to want to prioritize different things. They're going to have different strengths and weaknesses. So overall, this should hopefully create more variety in how the early game plays out. And I'm a big fan of how scav loadouts feel in games like Tarkov, for example. I really like just jumping into a game with a random loadout. And so hopefully this kind of introduces some of that feeling. So, but yeah, let us know what you think about this one. I'm sure people will be pretty vocal about how this feels, but definitely eager for feedback on that system and just to get a feel of whether we're going in the right direction or not. If the start of run changes are feeling good, you can expect to see more kits get introduced over time. So we'll be expanding on that system if we like it. So let's try it out. We've normalized the amount of gold that monsters pay out. It's standard depending on their tier now. In general, this will lower the amount of gold slightly. A lot of the endgame monsters, won't be giving you 10 gold anymore or whatever. This shouldn't have a huge impact on the economy, but we saw it as an opportunity to rein in the income of players a little bit. The less gold that people have to work with, the more they're forced to play with what they're dealt. You don't want to give players too little gold, because then there's not a lot of flexibility to maneuver. So yeah, basically, we are always looking for ways to rein in the economy, basically. It's very easy when designing this game to give players too many resources. Obsidian enchantment no longer provides lifesteal. So since we changed restorative to map to the damage of weapons, lifesteal sort of felt like an identical or a slightly worse restorative. We are changing the nature of the Obsidian enchantment, and to a lesser extent, lifesteal, although I don't know if that changes in this patch. So the Obsidian enchantment is going to work like all the other enchantments, like shielded or restorative. It's going to give an item a new ability, which is dealing damage in this case. And if it's already a weapon, it'll do more damage. So I do want to say, with whether it's in this patch or not, lifesteal will be triggering heal triggers in the future. I don't know that that's in here yet. That's coming though. So that's also sort of related to the lifesteal Obsidian rework. But yeah, it should give Obsidian more of its own identity. And yeah, kind of a no-brainer effect to put on this. I can't believe we didn't have this effect. This is a shout out to our design director for calling out that one. All right. The artist can now enchant items with Obsidian. Yep. Ayla used to give you deadly items once in a while. We've changed that to Obsidian. It feels a little bit more appropriate for a weapon merchant at this point. B1 and B2 are going to upgrade bronze tier items. I thought we were making this a pedestal. I thought we were making this a pedestal. I'm going to ask about this one. But either way, it works the same. We're going to have B1 and B2 upgrade your bronze items directly instead of dealing them to you. What it was doing before, where it was like dealing you stuff that you already owned, was like a temporary implementation while we were waiting for some tech. So it should be good now. Stacia, Fate's Crossroads now offers a random enchantment in the artist, mimicking a level up version. That is overdue. It's a change we wanted to make last time too, I think. Let's see. Unsellable, no longer a type. Makes sense. We've redesigned some of these starting encounters in the, with the spirit of making the early game have more variety. These might take a little time to dial in, but we'll see. Right now, we are starting off. The mushroom encounter is going to give you gold or a neutral item. Lost Crate is going to give you a silver tier encounter. Interesting. Oh, it is a silver tier encounter now. Yeah, you can open it or you can return it. We are introducing more upgrade hammers into the mix. You should see the loot feel better, especially after we've gotten through monster passes and stuff like that. But there'll be some lower tier upgrade hammers going around now, which is pretty cool. We have not just the diamond one now. You can upgrade bronze items and such. Jungle Ruins encounter redesigned. Enjoy the scenery, gain some regen, grab the loot, plunder for treasure. Yeah, makes sense. I think these options should all be more viable than kind of the design we had before, where there was one that was clearly the best, or like basically you had to take XP. Tiny furry creatures coming back. I haven't seen this guy in like 4 or 5 years. We had this art so long ago. We can pet it or scare it. Available day 1 and 2. We wanted to introduce more encounters with the art that we currently have ready. So this was the reason to introduce this encounter. This isn't the final effect of what this is going to do. I don't think we have anything with like. I don't think we have the game remembering what you did with Tiny Furry Creature and, having that affect future encounters and all that stuff. Like you might have seen in the earlier prototypes. It's not doing any of that stuff yet. This is just a nice, simple early game encounter we're going to start with. But, hopefully it's about right. I wonder if this health option is viable. Probably need to make this number bigger. Anyway, it's nice to just have more encounters in the early game. It was really in sort of need of them. Every part of the game is, but we'll add what we can when we can. So, let's see. Vanessa updates. A little more. Okay, interesting. So there's some numbers passes. I'm not going to talk about these too much. It's some of it is balance tweaks. Some of it is. There's a lot of different paradigms when it comes to the numbers passes in the game. There's different goals that we have as we go through and comb through the numbers. The way I kind of visualize the game is like a giant spreadsheet of data, and that data is like a coat of fur, right? And every time we do a design pass, it's like you're combing it, and so that's very different from how people visualize how a game actually works. Everyone thinks it's more like building a house brick by brick, where you know exactly where the brick is at the start and you build it up. But I see it more as combing through the data, and that's kind of what these numbers passes are. Sometimes it's us changing a scaling rule. Sometimes it's balance stuff. Sometimes we want to change how a certain effect plays out and is priced. It's a different reason, basically, every time we comb through this. And for every card, a different reason. There's a lot of things being taken into consideration for all the item design to try to have it land from all angles. But yeah, overall, I'm feeling pretty good about how the number changes have felt. Every patch feels better to me, and I think we're moving in the right direction. We made rifle work with bayonet, which is cool. This is something, yeah, rifles in the artwork for bayonet, but mechanically they didn't work together. So we've changed it, so now it does work with it. Let's see. Adding apparel type. Apparel is a new type we added last patch. We're going to be adding it to some of the items we missed. Feel free to call out any that we haven't noticed yet. Let's see, enchantments are still going to, as always, be worked on. Apropos chapeau, balcony. Yeah, balcony we had to nerf again. I wonder if we hit it too hard, but balcony's quite strong. So the fixer-upper builds were pretty strong this patch. It's a smaller version of the skyscraper problem we had in like last year, in November. The issue is the word double. If you put it on an item, it kind of becomes like Exodia, where if you get like 3 things that double, the numbers just become infinity, basically. And so we have to really be careful with effects that let you double item value. So it's not so much that the item fixer-upper is broken, not too much changed about that other than the enchantments. It's mostly the items that double the value of things. We just have to be really limited with that effect. So to that end, balcony's still going to be doubling value, I believe, but the rest of them aren't. Like deed, we redesigned. The start of each day, your properties gain value. This item's value is equal to your highest value property. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this plays. We're optimistic about it. We'll just keep an eye on it. It hasn't felt too oppressive. It's popular, it's strong, but fixer-upper hasn't been ruining the meta too much. So that's good. We'll see if we hit it too hard or not enough. Cash register. Yeah, enchantment bugs. Shield for each small item you have, including stash. The typo. If you have another apparel in play, this item's cooldown is reduced by 50%. Yeah, pretty straightforward. A lot of the apparel-based synergy that you see is going to care about having one other apparel item. That's kind of what we're thinking right now. Crystal Bonsai. We are really juicing the value gain here. I hope we didn't overdo it here. The consequences are higher. When you lose a fight, you permanently destroy it now. We wanted like a big dramatic explosion, like the crystal shatters when you lose. We don't have that yet. But this item and stained glass window, we wanted to try a drawback like this. So hopefully it plays well. We'll see. Let's see. Dragon Tooth, nice. We actually did rework fixer-upper. It wasn't unreasonable before. Like the old design is fine. We're gonna try this design instead. It's a little more flavorful. It's a little less runaway free value. And super late game, if you're interested in picking up a fixer-upper, this could theoretically let you upgrade it faster. I don't know if this change is good on net. We're not doing this to nerf the card. That's not why this is happening. This is mostly a flavor redesign, and it should play relatively similarly. But we're going to try the bootstraps clause on this, basically. See how that feels. Let's see, gumball machine. Okay. Jewelry, apparel type, yep. Landscaper and Vineyard are still in need of reworks. We'll get to these in a future patch. They're going to be working from stash now, which should make them way more convenient and comfortable to play with. But I don't know that that's going to be enough to make them good enough. We'll see. Yeah, maybe. Golden Piggy Bank now gains value for free instead of doubling its value. Makes sense. Some enchantment changes, some number changes. We're keying off the toy type more now. So we'll see if we got these numbers right. Slingshot's going to be a lot stronger and have less ammo in general now. Stained glass window. Yeah, so this one will be permanently destroyed now. We'll see. We'll see on this one. I don't know. This item is likely going to have a redesign at some point. Skyscraper. Cooldown to 7 seconds. Oof, we hit Skyscraper too. Interesting. I didn't know we hit this one. I'll follow up on that one. It is a very strong item. Too strong? I don't know. I don't know. It might be too strong after Vineyard and Landscraper are reworked. We will see. All right. So, on to Dooley. Arc Blaster no longer charges itself. We want to avoid items charging themselves in general. We're reverting the atomic clock change. This is more flavorful at 1 second, and if we need to nerf it, we'll explore some other options. Changing the ammo count or something. Let's see. Bunker. Damage reduction now applies to non-weapon sources. I thought that's how it was working last patch. Whoops. Okay. Bunker. Surely working correctly this time. We can start cranking the numbers up until it's good enough. Now that that's working. Let's see. Balloon bots and some small changes. Crane actually fixed the overflow issue this time. Here's hoping. Fiber optics. Okay. Might actually be in the game now. For better or worse. We'll see. We'll see. This is one of the stronger items in the game. Kind of always has been. But it's fun. There's a lot of creative ways to use it. We'll see. Force field starts at silver tier. Makes sense. For effects like force field and spiky shield, the lower tier ones were just as good a lot of times. So just that effect at bronze might be too strong in general. Certainly contributes to the armored core duct tape force field problem. Gains the tech type. We are changing isochoric freezer as usual. Nice simple freeze item. 4 seconds or less is an interesting targeting parameter. We'll see how it plays. We're still exploring different options for freeze. We have a lot of good options with it. Yeah, you guys will see us explore some different stuff with it. Kinetic cannon gains the tech type. Okay, a bit of a buff. We'll see if that's enough. Laser pistol gains the tech type. Sweet. Basic item changes. Pulse rifle. Yeah, we meant to hit this down to 5. Railgun. The multicast is going away. It still will be able to charge other railguns if you get 2 of them. But without multicast, it should be a lot less oppressive. This item is very strong. Like, it was very strong. It should still be quite strong. We'll see how that feels, though. Those numbers seem closer to where it should be. Other item updates. Nice. Oh, yeah. We got some of the Mac changes in. Okay. Interesting. 6-second cooldown. So you guys will see some reworks for some items. We've been working a lot on Mac lately, so excited for you all to play him when you get the chance. See some more fixes. Shielded Crusher Claw bug. Right, so duct tape, I mean, here's really how we fix the armored core duct tape force field problem. We're going to make duct tape a neutral item rather than a Dooley item. and we're going to see how that plays. Yeah, I'm sorry, Dooley mains, I know, but yeah, this item is you know, needed some looking at, of course. We tried changing it to the charge thing, but that didn't really feel great. I kind of like this solution more. Earrings. Charges when you haste in addition to when you slow. Okay. Emerald. Some more item reworks. I'm not going to dig into all these. You guys can check out where Mac is going. A lot of it is just number changes too. Combing through the Mac cards at some point though, which is awesome. It's a good amount of them in the game, looks like. Yeah, Ruby really got... These passives are stronger now. We will see. Sapphire only freezes smalls now, but it's faster. Weather Machine back to 4 seconds. Love it. Eagle Talisman, Medkit, Sharpening Stones. Now supports additional enchantments. Yeah, these are cool. Let us know what you guys think about these. Some of these enchantments are pretty cool, actually. All right. We got some skill updates, some item updates. I don't usually talk about these in too great a detail. It's really case by case. Some of it is balance fixes. Some of it is just reworks. Some of it's bug fixes. There's a mix. A lot of these 4 or less item effects, we changed to 5 or less. It's just a lot more flexible, but still decently restrictive. Renamed to Hellbilly. Oh yeah, we forgot to rename. Yeah, that's right. We have like the working title in the production build that you guys are playing for some of the monsters for a while, and then sometimes we keep it, like in the case of Chili Charles. Ah, dragon's in there. Whoa. There's a lot of new monsters we got in. Okay, well, there you guys go. Street Gamer, Piggles Punk. Dragon's in here, which is awesome. That's a strong one. I never say relax, bro. Who do I call a bro? Come on. They gave me hookah? Come on. What? What? I haven't actually seen the build on this guy. I'm gonna have to make some edits. Anyway, look, this is a fun patch. We got a lot of changes coming in. The game was in a pretty good balance state this last patch, so it didn't need radical balance overhauls or anything. Just a couple tweaks here and there. Hopefully we didn't go overboard with some of the stuff. You see a lot of encounter redesigns, but really the big change here is this start of run update. The choosing from kits type of paradigm. We'll see if that's fun. Let us know what you guys think, how you feel about it. I hope you enjoy it. As always, thank you for playing the Bazaar. Thank you for tuning in. And I'll see you all in a couple weeks with another patch notes video. Until next time, have a good one.